Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Young Sutton, and today I would like to talk about the Lenormand Ship card. This is a card of journeys and distance, of adventures and ventures, setting sail to explore and seek opportunities for betterment and enrichment, as well as to expand our horizons and offer us new perspectives. It may reference a great distance separating two things, or the longing one feels when distant from what they love or what they truly want. Descriptively, it can represent something or someone or someplace foreign or exotic, as well as any large vehicle intended to transport people or objects over a long distance, such as cars and planes and, of course, ships. Ships transport things, so it's a card of movement and big changes. We can compare it to our other movement card, the Rider, by saying that the ship travels distances that can't be covered by foot, and the ship is slower moving. Now, while the Rider can refer to any type of activity or movement, its core function is really of things that arrive or come to us, right? But the ship, on the other hand, is primarily about outward expansion and going the distance and departing from where you are to explore or discover or expand your world in some way. Now, financially, it represents big payoffs from commerce or money from inheritance. That's right in the original instructions. Now, So in other words, it's not money that's just given to us in exchange for our regular work, but money coming from something on top of or outside of our regular routines. Now, in a traditional grand tableau, the ship is looked at as a positive card that we want near our card, as it represents successful business ventures or opportunities to travel, or both. Now, the ship then represents some sort of exchange on a large scale that enriches our lives in some way. It's about trade that brings profit and business that yields rewards. The opportunities that can bring improvement will be described by the surrounding cards, right? Now, if you're using directional cues, the ship points to the primary next step on your journey, right? So the original instructions, what I call plot, right? The Petit Lenormand original translations. It clearly refers to the ship as the symbol of commerce. So what is commerce? Commerce is the trading of goods and services for profit, especially on a large scale. So to relate this card, when we think of commerce, to relate it to anything other than money or business, we can say it's an exchange that profits us in some way. So when you look up the definition of the word commerce, according to the Collins Dictionary, from a social aspect, commerce refers to an exchange of views or attitudes, a spiritual interchange, or sexual intercourse. Yes, it looks like we have another sex card. So that's the exchange of body parts or bodily fluids, right? Anyway, let's compare the ship with some other cards. Now, speaking of finances, the three cards of the financial cluster have similar plots, which you can read in my book, so I'm not going to read them to you here. But the Cliff Notes version is that when we're speaking of finances, the ship signifies great wealth from commerce. The fish refers to a lot of money and a series of successful undertakings. And the anchor indicates security and advantage. So to sum that up, let's say that the ship refers to extra money coming in, or that we're in the position to bring prosperity into our lives in a big way. The fish says that we have enough money at our disposal to exchange over and over, as in money that comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out, right? It's a lot of something, and it's a series, right? And the anchor tells us that our business dealings promise to pay off. I mean, the phrase great advantage that's used in the plot for anchor says that we have a grip on things and our foundation is secure, right? So that's how those three cards all relate to money. But when we're asking about relationships, the ship may refer to a long distance relationship. It may describe a relationship that's vastly different from what we're used to. right? Relating to the meaning of foreign or exotic, right? It may refer to a relationship that will be an adventure. It may describe a love interest who's exotic or foreign, or it can indicate romantic travel, right? Like the Love Boat. Regarding feelings, it refers to longing for a lover who's far from you or a lover who's departed. Now, in a daily draw, it can say that you're going to go further with something, or your ship is going to come in, regarding maybe finances or business dealings, or projects, right? You're going on an adventure in some way, and you know, it can just be figurative too. You may not actually even leave your house. You may not even leave your chair, right? But you'll put something new, maybe a new venture in motion, or you're going to expand your horizons or enter foreign territory in some way. You're going to gain new perspectives, or you may just go someplace you normally don't go. The ship can say that you're on the right track with something, but you still have a way to go, right? Now, in guidance or advice readings, think about the saying, life isn't about the destination, but the journey. And the ship represents the journey. And it's a journey of discovery that will benefit you in some way. So let's look at some commingling cards, right? Well, first let me just point out what we have in front of us here. As you can see, most decks simply show a ship, though some get creative. Like here, the Lunar Nomad gives us a hot air balloon, and then this is the Petit Lenormand has a flying saucer. But, you know, they say the same thing, right? That's long distance, exotic kind of travel. This is very long distance. The verse cards all kind of say the same thing. The ship is always a good sign. It announces most true, a happy journey and profits, and maybe an inheritance for you. Same with the fairy tale fortune card. The ship, a journey, progress, and a reward for you. Okay, so now let's look at some commingling cards. Give me my ship. All right, so the ship with the house and the stork can be relocating, right? We have relocation to a distant or foreign location. The ship with the anchor, this is always an interesting combination, because when the ship is heading to the anchor, it tells you that you're going to reach your destination, right? Your journey is going to lead to your goal, or just that you'll reach your destination safely. Now, if the anchor is your work card, this combination could tell you that you're going to travel for business, right? Or this could reference getting extra money at work, like a bonus, a promotion, especially if you have like the moon with it, and like if you have this together, yeah, that's definitely getting a promotion at work, you know, bonus, right? All right. Now this grouping of cards just came up in a reading that I did for someone recently, and I thought it was interesting because of the fact that all three cards relate to distance in some way. But what it was saying in the Grand Tableau for the seeker, it was regarding her career, and it was telling her that she still had a lot of challenges to overcome. But she was going to reach her goal, right? But she also still had to, so she was heading in the right direction, basically. But she still had challenges to overcome, and it was going to take time. It was going to take time and many steps to get to where she wanted to be. That's basically what it was saying. But these three cards are interesting in their connection to distance. Right? So, I mean, the mountain is something that's isolated and distant and cold, right? Now, the ship is traveling a distance to get what we want, or extras coming to us from a distance, or just from something beyond our regular, lives, right, as an inheritance. And the Tower is about the distance of length and height and levels. It's distance that exists between the top and bottom of something. So something is viewed as being above something else, as an ambition to get to the top, or that one feels that they're above somebody else, right? Like the unevenness in a relationship where somebody feels they're above someone else. There's a lot of space in between them, right? Now, the idea of longing shows up for me with cards such as like the Heart and any of these cards. Let me just throw these out. Like any cards, like let's put, you know, I just want to stick the mice on top because so many of you use a directional cue for mice. Anyway, we're not talking about that here. All right, I mean, what is longing? Longing is an emotion, right? And longing means desire, right? So, but it's interesting that the early definition of longing was a yearning with feelings of weariness and dejection. So there's definitely an element of sadness to longing, right? So for me to really see longing, the Heart, of course, is the emotion card and the card of desires, right? The Cross is showing that you're heavily burdened, okay? You can't put your cross down. You got to drag it with you, and you're just heavily burdened. The Tree is striving to thrive, and it's about stagnation, right? And of course, the mice takes away something. The mice says that you're missing something, and it's gnawing at you. So, like a grouping like this would definitely tell me that you're longing for something. Wow. All right, to recap, the base energy of the ship is positive, and its modus operandi is a journey. With favorable cards, it's a journey toward enrichment, adventure, and betterment. It can refer to great distances, to foreign and exotic things, to extra money coming to us, or to traveling, advancing, expanding, furthering, exploring, and discovering. It can also depict the feeling of longing. So that, my friends, is the Ship card. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below or message me. And thanks for watching. Have a great day and go play with your cards. Bye, everybody.